Hey guys, welcome to my Q&A part 2. This one's going to be dedicated to production and music. A lot of you guys asked me a lot of music related and production related questions for the first Q&A, so I've taken those questions along with some new ones that you guys recently asked me, and I'm going to answer them right now. What is the best way to get into making music? I don't think there is a best way. For me, it started when I can't really remember my age. I found FL Studio, the demo, and I started playing around with the different sounds and all sorts of stuff. I wasn't really making any tracks or music per se. I was just feeling my way around and trying different stuff just to experiment, basically. What I would suggest is to try and find a DAW that fits you. I think there's demo versions of them all out there, so download one and try it and stick to one that you like and then just mess about and experiment. Any recommendations on how, where, with, what to start producing EDM music? I would suggest watching a few tutorials. There's so many out there today. Maybe even looking up a bit of music theory just to get an understanding of music in general. Also, learning your DAW is very helpful because that will make everything so much easier for you. Who's your inspiration? Are there multiple ones? Yes, there are multiple ones, and I would suggest going to my Spotify profile because I have a playlist there where I add all of the tracks that I'm in love with right now, and I update that every month. So I suggest you go follow that. Will you keep trying to produce in different genres? I don't know. Hopefully, yes. I like to challenge myself. I have probably made every genre there is just for the fun of it. And if I make something that I feel is good enough to release, then I'll release it no matter what the genre is. What's your favorite genre to make? The favorite one right now would be trap and future bass. I'm really into that at the moment, but of course I can't deny that I absolutely love making progressive house. Favorite synth? All time must be Silent, but I recently discovered a few things with Serum that they just blew my mind. So right now it's a mix between Silent and Serum. What would you prefer, an EP LP or producing singles? I always try to produce an EP, but out of those tracks, usually only one or two is good enough, in my opinion, to release, so it ends up being singles. But recently I've been trying to make an EP, so hopefully I'll have a few tracks that are good enough and I'll make an EP for you guys. Who would you dream of collaborating with? I think my all-time would be Daft Punk, or the Swedish House Mafia, or Alesso. Or if we're going more pop, then maybe Coldplay, or Panic at the Disco. Favorite mixing VSTs for compression, EQ, reverb, etc. Okay, so let's start with EQ. My go-to EQ would be the parametric EQ2 from Imageline. That's FL's own. I've really gotten used to it over the years. Yeah, I wouldn't switch that out for anything. Compressor, it's a toss-up between a few Waves compressors. The C1 is a really basic one that works on anything. Also, the Renaissance compressor is really amazing. For reverb, right now I'm into the Valhalla Room. The possibilities with that reverb is endless. You can turn it into anything from small tiny room reverbs to massive halls and churches and whatever, so I would really recommend that. And if I could recommend something for mixing vocals, I would suggest using the RVox from Waves. It's a really easy and good compressor for vocals. You only have to press one or two things and you have a perfect vocal. Do you master your songs yourself? If so, what does your mastering chain look like? I don't master my own tracks. I don't have enough knowledge to master quite yet. I've been practicing it, but I'm not really getting the levels to compete with actual mastering engineers. So I have other people master my tracks. I have a very simple master chain that I send my tracks through before sending it to mastering, and it consists of an EQ, the parametric one, and a compressor called the Glue, just to make everything sound tighter. And that's it. I don't use anything else on the master. Where do you get inspiration ideas for your melodies? And how long does the average track take you to produce, start to finish? Okay, so inspiration for melodies. It's usually when I haven't made music in a little while, like a few days, and I sit down and just play around with melodies. I usually have some sort of idea in my head what I want it to sound like, but I'm not really sure. So I just sit down and play with different notes, and half an hour later I usually have something that's good enough. The average time for me to make a track varies a lot. A few tracks have taken over a year from start to finish, and my most recent one For You took maybe 3 or 4 days in total to be finished. So it really depends on the song. Why it would take that long, I'm not sure. I guess I'm just lazy. How do you make tracks with vocals? Do you start with vocals and work from there, or do you make the song then do vocals? It can be both. Usually I've already made the instrumental and I've sent it off to a vocalist. But sometimes if you're lucky enough, you can get vocals from a vocalist that you're already working with, and then you can make the track around there. I don't really prefer either or, to be honest. Both work. What are good ways to market your tracks? I would suggest SoundCloud, because that's where most of the people in our industry is looking at all times. If you make a really good track, people will hear it. And just try to get as many people as possible to listen to your track. If it's you messaging them on SoundCloud or Facebook or Twitter or whatever, just try and get people to listen. And if it's good enough, people will listen and it will spread. Are you ever going to make a sample pack? I don't think so right now, but never say never. So this was a shorter Q&A this time. If you want to know something else, or if you have any other questions, please put it in the comments below. If you want to see me do some more practical stuff inside FL Studio, please put that in the comments as well. I'm open to suggestions. Just hit me up and I'll see you later. Bye.